Greetings everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm your host Captain Rye and today I've got another fantastic Fletcher match here in World of Warships. This time I'm in my Tier 9 Fletcher and I'm divvied up with a couple of buddies, Whiskey Ace and Butt Kicker, who are both in their KGRRRRs. So, Tier 9 Destroyer Division. What could possibly go wrong? To start off this match, we're all three of us are heading towards the B cap, since that seems to be where we spawned closest. If you caught the teams list there at the beginning, the destroyer lineups are pretty equal in the respect that both teams have 3 Tier 9 destroyers, though the enemy team has 2 Tier 9 Fletchers and an Udaloy. And to be honest, I would prefer to have the 2 Tier 9 Fletchers on the team. And of course, I prefer the Fletchers over the GRRRRs because, well, the GRRRRs, yeah, they've got good torpedoes, either the super fast ones or the long range ones, but the Fletchers just got that combination: intermediate range torpedoes, good guns, and good speed. So I think it's just a good destroyer overall. As we enter the B cap, enemy destroyers have popped up. You'll notice there's the enemy Fubuki and the enemy Udaloy. I've opened up at the enemy Udaloy, and my division mate is taking fire from him because Udaloy's choices between shooting a Fletcher or shooting a KGRRRR, the KGRRRR is his go-to option. Debating on who to torpedo here, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try and torpedo the smoke, see what's in there. And it looked like that Fubuki was going to continue to sail in a straight line forward, so I fired off those torpedoes back in that direction. Unfortunately, that Fubuki did turn, and he turned back into his smoke, which is a smart thing to do. You can stay hidden back inside that smoke, and no one is going to bother you. Or, at the very least, they're not supposed to bother you. But what's that old saying about smoke being torpedo magnets? Yeah. My torpedoes managed to nail that Fubuki as he's either sitting in that smoke or as he was running away in a straight line from it. And speaking of smoke and torpedo magnets, here comes that Udaloy's torpedoes. Well, I assume it's the Udaloy's. For all I know, it could have been the Fletchers. Managed to get first blood, nailing that Fubuki. I do feel a little bad because I do like the Fubuki. This battle did break my all-time record for highest XP, highest base XP earned in a ship previously held by my Fubuki, which I do believe that video is up on my channel somewhere as part of my how-to Fubuki video where I score 3,800 base XP. Well, this match is gonna beat that, and not by just a small margin. Shelling this North Carolina in the distance, he didn't look like he was moving very fast, and while I lost track of him, I figured he might be stopping. Not the case. However, I do manage to set him on fire, and that is going to be good. I'm contemplating on how I want to torpedo him. He's just outside of torpedo range, but if he continues to sail, again, if he continues to sail on the line he's going to sail in, he's just going to sail into my torpedoes. And I've got 10 of them out. There is that Udaloy once again. This time he's shooting at me. He takes a big hit from what was either a cruiser or a battleship, but I've set him on fire, and I've hit him, and I've hit him again. Unfortunately, I don't manage to secure the kill on that Udaloy, which is unfortunate that we will see that at the end of this battle. That North Carolina, though, he's not an idiot. He's seen a destroyer has popped up. He knows there are torpedoes in the water because that Udaloy was undoubtedly spawning them. So he has turned away, and all of my torpedoes are going to miss him handedly. But take a look off in the distance here. Well, there's an enemy Otago. Well, this Otago, he's sailing right into my torpedoes. Will they hit him? Well, the first set died just before they hit him, but the second set, I hit him with one. That is incredibly lucky and fortunate for me. pay attention to that Atago on the minimap if you can. Because he is actually going to continue to pop up and cause problems for me throughout this match. My team is winning handedly. We've managed so far to take out 3 of the 5 enemy destroyers while still maintaining all of ours. And now we have the B cap, and nobody is at the C cap. My division mates and I have communicated that we should go cap C. So while I go and make my way into the C cap, they are both going to go up and use their torpedoes to try and torpedo this Atago and this North Carolina as they're sailing up towards the C cap. My division mates are kind of, what they're saying is, let's torpedo this and then get into the C cap. Looking at how much of the C cap progress I already have and their positioning, I said, no, let's go to A. We should go try and capture A. I said, we'll go to C. Yeah, by the time you get into C, I'll have solo capped it. But looking at the map situation, the enemy team is effectively dominated at A, and now they're pushing in to B. So B is going to become a contention point, which is good for us because it means I don't have to go all the way across the map. It also means, with the addition of the C cap point, that B being a contention point is right in between the two, and whoever can gain control of B or maintain control of B means that the cap point on either side, it's controlled by our team, is going to kind of be the last stand, the last holdout. So my division mates and I, we're headed back to defend B. And there's a lot of targets to hit over there. The enemy team still has both Fletchers left, and they've got numerous battleships and cruisers. And speaking of both Fletchers, here's one of them. And he's got about as much health as I do. I was about to be detected, so I opened fire, and I start hitting him. He is going to take shots in at the Fletcher, my division mate, and I'm just wrecking him. He's got torpedoes at the Fletcher, which is unfortunate for him because I managed to kill that Fletcher. But that Fletcher, well, he's got torpedoes at him, and that is going to be the demise of my division mate. We have an Atago bearing down on us, and I'm not actually aiming my torpedoes at that Atago. I'm aiming them at the North Carolina off in the distance. I'm going to try and shell him while I can still see him and set him on fire. Of course, best thing to do in a destroyer is if you've got torpedoes out, set the enemy battleship on fire so they can be forced to burn their damage control, and then your torpedoes hit them and cause flooding. You do the same thing in aircraft carriers. Kind of wish I hadn't wasted both sets of torpedoes because there's another juicy North Carolina sitting right in front of me. But I do manage to hit that North Carolina, and you can see those torpedoes racking up, and there's the kill on the North Carolina, who sailed in a straight line even though that there was an obvious destroyer. Then again, he probably assumed that we'd already used all of our torpedoes. While I'm still trying to set this North Cal on fire, I'm not having any luck. I have turned my ship to keep all my guns pointed at him, and because I know there's an Atago behind me who is closing in on the smoke, and nobody can see him because the smoke screen's blocking him and nobody's spotting him. The reason I definitely wanted to stay at an angle to him is these torpedoes right here. So I've drifted out of my smokescreen and I'm spotted as a result of that. But only just barely, but the Atago still gets shots off. He does hit me. And I fire off a torpedo salvo at that Amagi. I'm going to try and fire off a torpedo salvo at this North Cal as soon as he's done making his turn. Or, at the very least, I'm going to predict where his turn is. That Atago's torpedoes missed me handedly, but they hit my other division mate in his Kagero. And now he's on fire, and he's flooding, and he has no damage control ability at this time. Was briefly spotted there by aircraft from the Atago, who uses it to take full advantage of me. I do hit that Amagi, but not enough to kill him. Only one torpedo, but I do manage to hit that North Cal, and almost kill him. earning myself a Confederate and a high caliber in the process at the same time. Unfortunately, I either shorted those torpedoes or I didn't lead them enough because I thought he was going to continue to turn and only hit him with 2. If I'd hit him with 1 more, I would have gotten the kill on that North Cal. And that disappoints me, and you'll see why at the end of the battle. B has been lost, and the enemy team has managed to balance out the scores and balance out the number of ships on the enemy team. But that North Cal is so low HP, there's really not much he's going to be able to do, and I really want the kill, and I'm contemplating whether or not I'm going to shoot at him with my guns. Decide to open fire, but keep in mind that there is an Otago back over there trying to ninja the kill on that North Cal. Can I do it? No. Unfortunately, he's taken out before I can get it. Do have my smoke screen up, though, and I popped that smoke screen specifically because there is an Otago back up behind me. And that Otago, well, he's coming down to sea, and I'm the only one over here. Because of our early cap lead, we still do have a points advantage, but the enemy team still has 1 destroyer left. And both aircraft carriers are still in play, and they're just tier 7 carriers, so I'm not as concerned as maybe I should be, but the carrier has been relatively leaving me alone. I fire off these torpedoes at this Amagi, and it's about this point that I'm telling my division mates that damn, the carrier decided he was going to go for the Amagi, and as a result, the Amagi turns to avoid that CV's planes and turns to avoid my torpedoes altogether. If the CV hadn't attacked him, I have every confidence that he would have sailed right into my torpedoes. Headed back to B now, because we definitely need to regain that cap. We cannot allow the enemy team to continue gaining points. My team is finally capping the A cap point, as the only ship over there is an almost dead Fletcher, who has just popped up, and I am really debating on who I want to shoot at. If I open up at the Fletcher, well, if I open up at the Fletcher or at the Amagi, either way, the Fletcher's too close, he's going to see me. And I'm kind of hoping the secondaries from this enemy, from this friendly battleship, will finish him off. But that's not to be the case. The Fletcher is surviving just this little bit, and as I get those last shots out there, he does die. Well, now I'm outside of detectability range if I decide to open fire. I get some torpedoes away, but again, these torpedoes going to completely miss as this Amagi begins to turn away from my team. He doesn't want to go bow in and deal with the situation. So while I'm capping B, I'm outside of detectability range. I'm going to go ahead and continue to shell this Amagi. Just start racking up the damage done on this guy. Might as well 3 damage. The enemy team is down to just this battleship, that Otago, who we will see again, who, if you'll notice, has now capped C, and their aircraft carrier. But my team has one big advantage. They have me. They have a destroyer left. Managed to set that Amagi on fire after he puts out his other ones, and now he's just burning. These shots don't actually hit him, and I'm looking at seeing the other shots come in. Come on, get that kill, that last fire tick, give it to me. There it is. There's my 3rd kill. There's only... Oh, I'm sorry, there's my 4th kill. I'm on 4th kills, and now I'm hunting for that Kraken. And there's the big point. There's the Otago who's just popped up. There are only 2 ships left for me to secure my Kraken. If I had managed to kill that Udaloy, if I had managed to secure the kill on that North Cal, I would already have the Kraken to go with my First Blood, to go with my Confederate, and to go with my High Caliber. So I'm coming back over here. I know that Otago was spotted basically right behind this island, and I'm trying to debate where he's going. Is he hiding behind the island? Is he trying to lay an ambush because he knows that there's a destroyer back in B, probably heading back to C to cap, because that's what destroyers do, especially late game? What is he doing? I don't want to come blindly around that island at point-blank range and get offed by somebody waiting for me. And there he is. He's managed to run all the way over to the landmass on that far end. I fire off a set of torpedoes, thinking that he might be trying to hide behind the island and probably not stop in time and just drifting forward. He's disappeared again. Aircraft carrier, now with only the enemy CV and this Atago left, is going to send planes over to spot this Atago, which is going to be really good for me. Between my spotting and the CV spotting, hopefully we can keep him lit long enough for me to maintain those torpedo leads. And I'm debating on whether or not I want to fire off another set of torpedoes here, but again, that Atago is maneuvering hard, especially with the aircraft carrier trying to bomb him. First set of torpedoes completely misses, which is unfortunate, and because that Atago has his fighter scout up, well, that fighter scout's going to spot me soon. So I'm going to turn off my anti-aircraft, or I'm going to turn on my anti-aircraft and start attacking that fighter scout, because I really like him to not spot me as I lay my torpedo ambush. Turn that off in an effort to shoot that airplane down, and I do think I actually managed to shoot that airplane down. There's that shot. That Atago, he's coming around the corner here. I fire off the set of torpedoes that's available. I'm using this island for cover because I still want to camp. I pop my smoke screen, manage another full base cap. That's 4 full base caps, and as you know, base capping XP, crazy stuff. The Atago fires off torpedoes both for and after that island, but because of the arcs and the angles, they are going to miss completely. My torpedoes, however, I hit him with one and cause a good amount of damage. Now I'm looking to back up. I've got another torpedo tube back and available, and he's beached himself, which means he's going to be slowly backing off the rocks. I want this kill. I want this Kraken. I want it so bad. I fire out at him. I'm detected. He's got hydroacoustic. Doesn't matter to me if he kills me. My torpedoes are going to finish him off. There's no way. And what? Who? That battleship? You bastard! You stole my kill. Well, looking at the point situation and the number of ships, it's a victory for my team. 675,000 credits earned, 180,000 damage done, 13,000 XP, and this is not my first win of the day. Looking at the base XP there, 4,300 base XP. I'm double the next nearest guy on my team. By the way, the guy who stole my kill, he's at the bottom. Everybody on the team earned at least 1,000 XP, except the AFK Mahan. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful base XP earning Fletcher match. It was a record for me. Really excited about that. And if you liked the video, hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button for more of these videos. Leave a comment down below if you'd like. If you'd like to follow me on Facebook and get ideas and weekly updates of what's coming out next or what I'm thinking of doing next, you can like and follow me on Facebook. If you'd like to help support my channel, please do so by visiting my Patreon account and supporting me there. You can find the links for both of those in the description down below. As always, I'll see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.